right now on ABC 26 News at 10.
The push is on to get a bond issue passed in New Orleans. I'm Meredith Mendez. Find out what could happen to city streets if voters turn it down.
A sale of 2 stadiums. Find out about the pitch to build a pair of stadiums for high school football teams. A plane crash leaves NASCAR in mourning. Hear from the sports officials. And the Saints find some emotion and post a solid second half showing. We've got highlights. The news starts right now.
From WGNO New Orleans, this is ABC 26 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kurt Sprang. New Orleans city leaders are making a last-minute push for a bond proposal on the ballot for November the 2nd. Our Meredith Mendez live in our newsroom with details. Mayor.
Kurt, with just over a week before the election, New Orleans leaders say they are stepping up their ad campaign, trying to get the word out about how much this plan will cost taxpayers and what they will get in return.
It's about 6 inches deep, around 4 feet wide.
This is the pothole in front of Gary Robertson's uptown house.
Most cars, whenever they drive by, they usually bottom out. Some of them, the whole front end of the car just lifts up off the ground. Watching
cars come through here every day, Robertson says he's concerned about the condition of streets all over the city. New Orleans leaders are pitching a $260 million bond issue that could help. City leaders say if the bond issue doesn't pass by 2006, New Orleans will be out of money for street repairs.
I'm sure a lot of citizens have had the opportunity to ride down Canal Street. As you can see, it's now smooth. Those are the kind of repairs that we're talking about.
But the streets won't be the only thing to benefit from the bond issue. Here's the breakdown. $163 million for major street repairs, $43 million for Nord Parks and Rec Centers, and $54 million to fix up public spaces, including libraries. The last 2 reasons are why Donna Evans will be going to the polls. Right now, she's paying for her 3-year-old son Jason to play here at the Carousel at City Park.
The children need a place to go. A lot of the parks right now are in bad condition, and if they don't fix them up, the kids won't have any place to play.
But even here, help is needed. $1 million would go toward fixing up this play area. The bonds will run for 20 years, but city leaders say taxpayers won't see an increase for the first 3 years.
4th year, there'll be a slight increase. In the 5th year, there'll be another increase. And then the total increase for a $100,000 homeowner will be approximately $15.
A price city leaders are hoping people will be willing to pay.
Seeing as they ask of us so much, especially in the past, yeah, that is a little up there.
The city council put up $250,000 for a public ad campaign supporting the bond issue. Rice says you should see more spots starting tomorrow. Kurt.
All right, thanks, Mayor. And as we mentioned, the issue will be on the November 2nd ballot. All this week, ABC 26 News will run a special series, Conversations with the Candidates. The 4 major contenders for John Breaux's U.S. Senate seat weigh in on 5 issues affecting your life. Tonight, an extra, the candidates talk about rolling back the federal income tax breaks.
I voted for the tax cut, the $1.35 million. We could afford it. It was the right thing to do, and I stand by that vote. But I voted against the 2003 extension and further tax cuts, frankly, because it was a bad deal for Louisiana.
I would roll back the tax breaks for the top 1%. If you make $375,000 a year or more, okay, I would roll those tax cuts back. That's going to mean an extra $90 billion a year for America.
I would not have voted for the tax break that was voted on a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago. My opponents who were in Congress at the time did do it, but that's irresponsible.
I supported those tax cuts. I think those tax cuts got us out of recession, put us on a growth path. We're growing jobs right now, although we need to pick up the pace.
Watch Conversations with the Candidates at 6 and 10 all this week on ABC 26 News. Tomorrow, the Senate contenders talk about gay marriage, abortion, and prayer in school. 9 days to go, and President Bush and John Kerry are battling for votes in states that are critical for victory. John Kerry made a Florida stop at an African-American church in Fort Lauderdale, while President Bush stopped in New Mexico.
Is it worthy of the good society to not once, not twice, but 3 times deny health insurance to millions of children while giving tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans.
The outcome of this election will set the direction of the war against terror. The most solemn duty of the American president is to protect the American people.
Next, President Bush will head to Colorado, Iowa, and Wisconsin, all states that are too close to call. John Kerry will head to New Hampshire, where he has a slight lead in the polls. And from November through the November 2nd election, stay with ABC 26 News for continuing coverage of the 2004 vote. Tonight, New Orleans police are investigating a triple shooting. It happened around 5:30 this evening. Police say a group of people got into a fight in the 6800 block of Seagull Lane, and some of them started shooting. One person was shot in the stomach, one in the neck, and police weren't sure where the third victim was hit. Detectives don't have a motive and are investigating. 2 new football stadiums for the New Orleans area. We'll tell you who would benefit from the proposal. And a plane carrying members of a NASCAR team crashes. Tonight, some of the top drivers are grieving.
And high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s doesn't make it feel like October. Hear why this month may be one for the record books coming up.
ABC 26 News. We've got New Orleans stories that cover your city, your life, and your neighborhood. It's your newscast.
I'll have that story.
We've got New Orleans team coverage on your radio, your computer, and your television.
I'll have that story next.
We've got New Orleans forecast that affects your morning, your evening, and your weekend.
Stand by for a slight chance of
Every
rain.
interview, every story, every day. It's your newscast.
We've got New Orleans
Watch
team
ABC
coverage.
26 News, weeknights at 5, 6, and 10. We've got New Orleans.
Find a job you love in a place you love. There's no better resource than NOLA.com for finding the best local jobs. Even post your resume for employers to see. You'll find great opportunities in the New Orleans area and learn the tools to land them. NOLA.com, everything New Orleans.
If a concert hall can be acoustically tuned, if a 60,000-seat stadium can have a retractable roof, if an 80-ton bullet train can glide on air, why not your SUV? At GMC, our engineers don't just ask questions, they have answers. The GMC Envoys. Get $6,000 to $7,500 total cash back on select 2004 GMC Envoys with GMAC financing. Truck Fest at your professional-grade GMC dealers.
I'm Billy Tozan III. I believe that families are the heart and soul of our communities. I believe that honesty and hard work still matter. I believe that government should do a few things and do them well. I believe in the sanctity of marriage and that our children are our most precious natural resource. If you agree with my conservative philosophy, I want to be your congressman. I'm Billy Tozan III. My wife Kristen, Momo, and I approve this message.
That's right, we do.
Looking for a new car or just trying to sell that old one? There's no better resource than NOLA.com. Get quotes on prices of the latest cars, look for the best place to buy parts, and even find new car reviews, all from your living room. NOLA.com, everything New Orleans.
The New Orleans area could become home to 2 new football stadiums, not for the Saints, but for Catholic high schools. Young G. Denise has the story.
Kurt, in Orleans Parish, Catholic high schools play football at Tad Gormley, but in Jefferson Parish, Catholic high schools don't have a comparable stadium. Now the Archdiocese hopes to build 2 of them.
We have the Blue Jays too!
A packed stadium, die-hard fans, and intense rivalry. This is New Orleans high school football.
It's the atmosphere. It's where my son goes to school. My dad went to school here. We got on his good luck ring today, class of 53.
It was only in New Orleans would it be like college, where everybody has this rivalry going on.
But Catholic schools in Jefferson Parish aren't getting the same experience. They play in smaller stadiums with less resources. Now the Archdiocese plans to change that. The Archdiocese hopes to build stadiums on both the Rummel and Shaw campuses. The architectural plans are finished, and Father William Maestri says they're quickly moving forward.
We envision this being really a multi-dimensional sports facility and not simply a quote-unquote football field.
Right now, Rummel and Shaw teams play in rented space at Joe Yenny and Haas Mentis stadiums. Parents at Shaw say they're ready for a true home game.
I think, you know, a sense of ownership and, you know, being in your own place. There's some schools that have their stadiums on the facilities, and it just adds, you know, an available area to practice.
It's way overdue. They need a stadium, not just for Shaw, but just for the West Bank in general.
Father Maestri says the stadiums should be seen not just as Catholic school projects, but also as community development.
We don't want to see this simply as a Rummel activity or as a Shaw activity. We would like to see this as an East and West Bank activity.
It will take millions of dollars and several years, but the plan is to get all Catholic school games to look more like this.
High school football is the foundation of the football in New Orleans. It was there before even we had the Saints, and now we just love high school football.
Father Maestri says the stadium plans are still in the preliminary stages. The Archdiocese still needs to get zoning clearances, and he says they have quite a bit of fundraising to do as well. Kurt?
And Father Maestri adds if the stadiums are built as planned, they would share the space with schools outside of the Catholic League. 10 people on board a plane headed to a NASCAR race are dead. The plane crashed in Virginia. The passengers were all members of the Hendrick Motorsports racing team. NASCAR found out about the plane's disappearance during the Subway 500, but withheld the news from Hendrick's drivers until after the race. Everyone on board the plane was killed. They include owner Rick Hendrick's son, several family members, and the team's chief engine builder.
The entire Hendrick organization is such a great part of our sport. I don't think words can put into play what I'm feeling right now.
And Hendrick's drivers include Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, and Brian Vickers. Plenty of sunny weather on the way, plenty of heat as well. Meteorologist Chris Rhodes will let us know if there's any chance of fall arriving this week. Later, stolen flu shots at one clinic. Is there a growing black market for the vaccine? Details on the way on ABC 26 News at 10.
ABC 26 Weather brought to you by LIS.
At LIS, we sell, we manufacture, we install, and we stand behind our products and our customers.
I'm Craig Romero, and I authorize this message. Too often, we have seen good people get elected to Congress, and then they stay in Washington when their time is up. Going to Congress should not be a one-way ticket out of Louisiana. When I have served my time, I'm coming home to Louisiana. I want to change my state, not change my address.
Craig Romero, Congress.
His name's Cole. He was 13 days late. And there was literally a point where I thought I was, going to be pregnant forever. Where you spend your whole life putting yourself first, and then just like that, you're second. And you're just so thankful. That's why I bought a Saturn.
The 5-star crash safety rated 2005 Saturn Vue. Now with 5 years, 60,000-mile extended vehicle coverage or a $1,250 allowance.
I'm David Vitter, and I approve this message.
Washington special interests are spending $1.5 million to lie about David Vitter and prop up their buddy, Chris John. The facts? David Vitter voted for cheaper drugs from Canada. Chris John voted against. Louisiana newspapers confirm this. Chris John took over $100,000 from the big drug companies. He even owns a Florida condo with a drug chain lobbyist. We need a Louisiana fighter, not a Washington sellout.
ABC 26 Weather with meteorologist Chris Rhodes.
Well, it certainly feels like we're stuck in a rut. Warm temperatures, muggy air, a couple of showers. Tonight, a couple of showers lingering about north of the lake. So that's where we're going to fly in here around Amite. You've got a thunder shower around you. A little bit further to the south, we have had some rain showers around Mandeville, now around Lacombe, back in towards Pearl River. Burlington seen some light rain, and Bay St. Louis, you've got a few raindrops around you too. As far as the satellite and radar composite is concerned, the bigger picture here, you can see heavy thunderstorms right now across parts of Shreveport heading towards Monroe, and more thunderstorms even further to the southwest. This is from the southwest flow aloft. We've had just a couple of raindrops here. We've got a big ridge of high pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, so all of this activity is rotating around the ridge, and that ridge is helping for fronts to just kind of get the block from coming through and helping cool us down. So this front to our north and west has stalled out. It's not going to move any further south to help us cool down at all. So it was a sticky Sunday, and look at some of these temperatures even right now. 79 degrees in New Orleans, 72 degrees in Shreveport. To put this in perspective, 79 is warmer than we should be for our high temperature, and this is as of 10 o'clock. 68 in Oklahoma City, slightly cooler air off to the north and east, but we're not going to be able to get into some of that. In fact, if you thought it was warm today, you were correct. We set a record high at Audubon Park at 91 degrees. The old record, 89, set back in 1941. We also tied a record high at Armstrong International with 88 degrees. Well, those are temperatures more typical of August or September, and we're heading into the warmest October ever. The warmest October average temperature, that's the high and low temperature combined, is 75 degrees. That was set back in 1927. The average temperature this month, 75.9 degrees. And like I said, no cool fronts on the way. High temperatures today, mid to upper 80s. We should be sitting at 77. Look at this morning's low temperatures. We should be sitting at 57. We are in the low to mid 70s. Current conditions outside right now, well, we've got muggy air once again. Sound like a broken record, right? 77 uptown, 77 Kenner, 78 in Slidell with a 72-degree dew point temperatures. It's sticky with a light breeze from the southwest at 8. So here's what we're looking at for the next couple of days. Slight chance of showers as we head into tonight. We'll linger with that chance at about 20% for tomorrow. It's going to be warm for everyone. More the same coming up on Tuesday with rain chances at about 20%. Warm temperatures everywhere. So tonight, lots of clouds, isolated showers, particularly north of the lake into Mississippi. Some light fog, upper 60s to low 70s. If you're lucky north of the lake, low to mid 70s south. For your morning drive into work, some light fog, otherwise hazy sunshine, warm and muggy start, low to mid 70s, and by the afternoon, once again, 85 to 90 degrees. Very few of us will see any showers. Warm and humid with a light and variable wind. Here's a look at your ABC 26 7-day forecast. Little to no change for the next few days as we head into Halloween. We're looking at rain chances slightly better at about 30% with highs in the lower 80s. Overnight low temperatures not looking all that cool either. We will have a cool front come through, it looks like, next weekend. Doesn't look all that powerful though, so it might stall out too. Still a little too early to tell. It's going to be a warm Halloween.
Yeah,
think light costumes.
Yeah, hopefully no more record setting.
Yeah, I know, but we could easily.
Right. Thanks, Chris. Well, doctors in Merced, California say hundreds of doses of the flu vaccine were stolen from their clinic. 90 vials taken from a refrigerator. Police think it may have been an inside job. Each little bottle normally sells for about $75. Investigators think the thieves may try to sell them on the streets for much more. In Seattle, a high-speed catamaran is taking shot-seeking Americans across the Puget Sound from Seattle to Victoria, British Columbia. The package deal cost them about $100. The company says passengers who've already booked a boat ride can add the flu shot part for an extra $30. The flu shot tourists are helping Canada's tourism industry. Americans are dropping hundreds of dollars during the vaccine-seeking trips. Well, the Saints come alive in the second half against Oakland. Next, Adam Norris has highlights of a strong showing. Stick around for sports.
Lambert Boissier III, record as public official, failure. Failure 1. Boissier III cited by auditor for violating public payroll fraud law. Failure 2. Auditor finds thousands in cash missing from Boissier III's public office. Failure 3. As a public official, Boissier III under FBI investigation. Failure 4. Boissier's father lobbies for utility companies to raise your utility rates. Now the second will lobby the third. Trust Lambert Boissier III? Not once, not twice, not ever.
Some cars are just born to follow, one-dimensional, charisma-free. But this car has a different vibe. It takes any road you throw at it, and everything you throw in it. Runs fast between lights and long between fill-ups. Give it a destination and go where the vibe takes you. Now non-GM owners and lessees get into a new 2005 Vibe starting around $15,100 after cash back and allowances. See your Pontiac Southern Performance dealers.
Landrew Brothers Home Improvement has got you covered. Get your home improved for the holidays and pay no interest until 2005. No interest till next year on vinyl siding, overhang, replacement windows, seamless gutters, patios, screen rooms, sunrooms, and professional roofing.
Improving homes for over 20 years.
Call for your free estimate today.
At Landrew Brothers, we've got you covered.
Call today.
While treasurer, I've been a substitute teacher and a tutor in our public schools without pay. I also teach at LSU. A college degree means a better job, but the cost of college is too high for too many. As treasurer, I led the fight for the trust fund for TOPS, permanent funding for free college tuition. The chance for college must not be denied by the cost of college. As your senator, this is my fight. I'm John Kennedy. I approve this message.
John Kennedy, Democrat, Senate.
Share the love. Pass the Splenda. Spread the sweetness.
Splenda's the no-calorie sweetener made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar. Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda. You can even cook and bake with it. So don't be surprised when a neighbor pops by to borrow a cup of Splenda.
ABC 26 Sports with Adam Norris.
After losing 3 straight, the Saints were precariously close to a free fall, but they managed to take a step back from the precipice this afternoon in Oakland, where they rode a second-half surge to hold off those hapless Raiders. Quarterback Rich Gannon out for the year with a neck injury. That looks painful, so former Saint Kerry Collins gets the start. Raiders leading 6-0 in the second. Aaron Brooks to Lamont Hall. It's only the second touchdown of his career. 7-6 Saints. Lamont normally relied on for blocking, but he comes up big there. Trailing 9-7 at the half, the Saints drive. Deuce McAllister from 3 yards out. 14-9 Saints. Later in the third, Kerry Collins picked off by Tabucky Jones. Only his second pick as a Saint. Tabucky returns at 55 yards to the Raiders' 30-yard line, and the Saints cash in. Deuce McAllister only rushed for 42 yards, but he did score twice. This is number 2 right here. Puts the Saints up 21-9. The Raiders mount a comeback. Jay Bellamy falls down on this play, and Doug Jolly, the tight end for the Raiders, goes 34 yards wide open into the end zone. Saints up 21-16. New Orleans gets a huge fourth-quarter play from special teams after a John Carney field goal. The Raiders' Carlos Francis fumbles the kickoff return, picked up by rookie Colby Buckwalt. He takes it in for the touchdown. Hang on to that ball. He's a linebacker and a rookie. It's like surgically adhered to his hand. He's not giving that thing up. 31-19. The Raiders get no closer. The Saints improved to 3-4 with a 31-26 victory. Joe Horn had 9 catches for 123 yards. It was a result they desperately needed heading into the bye week, and one they earned. Earlier today, the only game between 2 unbeaten teams, the Jets and the Patriots. First quarter, Jets driving. Curtis Martin fumbles the ball inside the New England 10-yard line. Former LSU Tiger Randall Gay recovers it for the Pats. Squandered opportunity for the Jets. In the second, Jets quarterback Chad Pennington keeps it, takes it into the end zone. Jets up 7-6. The Patriots find the end zone, though, before the end of the first half. Tom Brady zips it into David Patton for the 9-yard score, 13-7. And the Patriots D makes it stand up. They've won an NFL record 21 straight games. LSU's victory last night against Troy State did little to erase questions about the Tigers' inconsistency. The Tigers needed to come from behind to beat the Trojans 24-20, and as a result, they took a small step backward in the national polls. LSU slipped 1 spot in the AP to number 19, down 1 in the coaches' poll to 18. Jesuit solidified its place as the leader of the pack in the Catholic League. In a rare Sunday afternoon showdown, the Blue Jays improved to 7-0 by decisively defeating Brother Martin and handing the Crusaders their first loss of the season. A lively atmosphere at Tad Gormley this afternoon. Scoreless in the first. Martin's Roland Thompson rolls out, pitches it to Jacob Bowe for the 12-yard touchdown. 7-0 Crusaders. Tied at 7 in the second. Big day for Jesuit quarterback Anthony Selfo. He's on the move, and he finds Philip Blanchard for the touchdown.
Blue Jays on top 14-7. Later in the second, Selfo with some nifty running moves. He takes it in for the 9-yard score. Jesuit wins big 35-7. They take on Rummel next weekend. While most of us wouldn't be able to stand up, Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling tries to stand the pain in starting Game 2 of the World Series. He has a torn tendon sheath in his right ankle. Boston looking to take a 2-0 lead before the series goes to St. Louis. And Boston leading this one right now, 6-2 in the top of the 8th. Schilling pitched 6 full innings, Game 3 Tuesday in St. Louis. And the Hornets taking on the Clippers tonight, and they are trailing in that game in the 3rd quarter.
Saints fans got to see both their teams play. The first half Saints and the second half Saints.
This could have been miserable if they had gone into the bye week with 4 straight losses. They had to have it, and they did come away with a victory.
That's good news. All right, thanks, Adam. We're back after the break. Stick around.
The BMW X3 sports activity vehicle. It's nimble, it's agile, and it's got a little monster in it. Test drive the X3 today. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Hi, I'm David Vitter here in sunny Louisiana. I'm also up here in snowy Canada. Why both places? To make a point. When I'm here, this prescription drug costs $124. But here it costs only $26. That's not fair. That's why I'm taking on the big drug companies who are trying to gouge us. I'm the only candidate who's fought to allow you to import safe drugs from Canada at a much cheaper cost. So you don't have to come all the way up here. We're David Vitter, and we approve this message.
In 1980, my father, Don Barge, created a flooring center in hopes to offer the community the best service and products at the lowest prices. Welcome to the best-kept secret in town, Acadian Carpet Center. Acadian Carpet has over 1 million square feet of ceramic and porcelain tiles in stock, with over 250 styles available for you to choose from. Acadian Carpet buys direct from the manufacturer, which saves you money. Professional installation and free delivery are available to the New Orleans metro area.
Acadian Carpet Center.
We're flooring America with you every step of the way.
Fact. No one has more truck models, and no trucks last longer than Chevy. Period. Get the right deal on the right truck right now during the Chevy Right Truck event. Get $5,000 total cash back on select 04 Silverados or Silverado half-ton crew cabs with GMAC financing. Hurry, the Chevy Right Truck event ends November 1st. For the #1 selling cars and trucks, see your Super Chevy dealer today.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching ABC 26 News. More news tomorrow during Good Morning America, and then again at 5, 6, and 10. Good night. Have a great week, everyone.
I'm Senator John Breaux. I know what it takes to serve Louisiana best. It's not a puppet for a national party. With David Vitter, it's always Republican this, Republican that. Vitter votes almost 100% of the time the way that he's told by party leaders in Washington. And that's one reason I support Chris John. He's a Democrat, he's independent, and he puts Louisiana first.
I'm Chris John, and I approve this ad. And I'll always put Louisiana first.
Here's an easy way to see Norah Jones in concert for free. Just watch Wife Swap Wednesday night at 9 on ABC 26. When we tell you to call in, be the 26th caller to 260-WGNO, and you'll win a pair of tickets to see Norah Jones Wednesday, November 10th at the Kiefer UNO Lakefront Arena. Wife Swap is ABC's new hit reality show. It gives you a chance to see two families discover how much mom means to them. And just for watching, you also get a chance to spend an enchanted evening with Norah Jones. Call it a little me time from ABC 26.